Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to Alex Builds. We are now got another part of our built the HMS hood. Okay, so last time when we left off, we'd finished the forward decking and secured it to the hull, and that's all nice and dry. It's looking great up there. So I think we'll do another deck. I think we'll start the rear aft decking. I think we'll start that today. Hopefully get that finished and that secured down as well. So here we are with the aft decking. So what I've done is I've filed off the top of these two sort of like parts here. So we're going to place some photo etch on there first. We will be painting this after. There's still a couple of parts like these winches, I believe they're called, from like when we done the forward deck. We got to put some of them on here as well. But let's get this photo etch on here first. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So this one is different to these two. These two are the same, and we're going to need. Let me tell you which part we need. So we're going to be making a D and a D and an R here. So for the D and the D, you're going to need part of the photo etch for the Edward, part 123 for these two. So you're going to need 2 of them. And for the R, it's part number 8 that goes in here. So we're going to need a little dollop of glue. So I'm just going to dot that onto these two. Just like that. And I'm going to spread that with a cocktail stick. So I'm going to do this one first. Leave that down. Grab our piece of photo etch. I'm going to go with this one. So I'm going to leave that there to dry. Going to now spread the next one. And then get that one on. Yep, that's that one on. I may as well put this one on as well. So touch glue on this one. Spread that as well. And then this last piece of photo etch here. So it goes straight down over the top. And just like when we did the fore deck, we're going to bend so the hinge part's down and everything else is getting bent up the waist. So I'm going to do that now on here, because these should be dry enough. So that, I bend everything else up the way. There's a couple now on this one. And that's that one done. So I'm going to go ahead and fold them two, and then we'll come back. And there we are. That's them 3 parts all complete. So we've just got to paint them up when we come to the painting part. So now we've got some details to put on here. So we're going to bring in, let's do these. There should be 3 of them. I'm missing 1. There we are. So we're going to add these onto here. So let's go. 1 is going here, the other 2 are going just here. Just like we did with the first one, we're going to put some on the bottom. And then the actual top of this vent doesn't touch the actual turret part itself. It's these 4 little bits that go around the edge. So we can line that up. Just like so, making sure it's straight again. Yeah, happy with that. Let's do the same with the other ones. Some on the bottom, and on them 4 points on that. And we've got 2 points that we can put these on here. Let's get that one on. So now the final one. It's going just next to that one. Just there. Just got them 3 just there, just like that. And so now let's get these part that are winches in place. So we've got 3 and 1. So these are numbers 3, 4, and I believe the other one was a number 11. So they're going in there. So let's get some on here as well. Drop that into place. There we are. These are all painted because when we did the last lot, I painted these up last time with when we done the other lot because I made them all up. That one's going just here. And push it down into its slot. There we are. Now these 2 are the same. Can't remember which one was which out of 3s and 4s for these 2, so you'll have to bear with. So let's drop this one down. That one went down really, really nice. And now this one. There we are. Just going to give that one a hold just for a second because that one hasn't gone all the way down. There we are. That's better. So that is them parts on there. So we're getting there. Now it's just all these little parts in here. So let's bring them over. 1, 2, 3. You're going to need some G5s. So we're going in this hole here. These are all G5s. Just gonna try and use my fingers for this. It might be easier. And these 2 holes just here. And there's one just here that we need to put another one in. Go with the one straight behind that. Hoping we can get quite a lot of this done today because there's not as much detail on this one as there was, well, that we can put on anyway before we actually secure it down. There's not as much on this one as there was the foredeck. So now they've got 2 holes just here. They've also got a G5 in, and there's one at the back here as well. So I'm going to go with these 2. There's 1 and 2. this one. And this one at the back just here. There we are. Now we're turning this round. Just here, we've got 2 points just here that we can add these little parts on. These are F52s, and if you're going to have the Edward photo etch, you can add a detail to this. You can add the photo etch detail number 71 to that as well. So let's get some. Put this on, make sure we get it around the right way. There we are, that's that one. And then you do the same with this one as here. Quite a snug fit them ones anyway, so this one I haven't painted yet. That one on, I just knocked that little part down, so straighten that back up, just like so. Now we're going to need, turn this back around, so now we're going to need to put some F39s in this hole here, 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 oh that's a G5, that's a G5. So let's start putting these in and working out these holes. Bring them over, that one, and these two. Right, so let's start from the front. So the F39 in these holes here and here. That's the bigger one of the two. One. Two. We'll be painting these up later. There's another one just here. Where's the rest? Could be two here. Drop one in. Use the tweezers for this, it's rather awkward bending round. One. And this one here. So that's straight. So G5 is going just in the centre, here and here, and one here. And there's an F39 just here as well. Let's put that one in first. And I've got two little F5s, I'm going to put them in here. Here. Drop this second one in. Quite hard to hold these little parts. There we are. That's that one in. Let's get another one there. Just like that. That's pretty much all of it done up until this point. So we do have parts to put on here, but I'm going to put them on quite late. Probably close to the end I'll put them on because it's like a longer piece. Don't want to knock that off and break it. So what goes back here, there's an F39 that goes back here as well. Let's drop this one in. Doesn't want to go in, that one. There we are. That is them all on there. Next up, we've got 8 of these little parts just here. What we're going to do, these go on these parts, same as what we did last time on the forward deck. So really easy to put on. And yeah, these are the parts that are going to be painted black. Just like on the other side. So it's nearly ready for painting now, and then we can pretty much secure it down to the hull, and we'll also get the centre deck on as well, I think, as well while we're there. That's 3 out of the 4 decks already done and on. Two more to go. One. I did actually get one part wrong. This centre hole just here, don't put an F39 in there. That's for an A20, which I'll show you what it looks like now. Looks like that. That's just going to get plopped straight down into there, just like so. I am going to raise that ever so slightly, like that. Make sure it's nice and straight, and there we are. So we've got to paint this. Everything that we've just put in is going to be painted in the grey, except the 4 points on the outside, they're going to be in the black. And then we've got some details to add, so we can paint this in the grey, these parts in the grey, with these little points here, and around here we can also paint in grey. There we are. I've gone ahead and fully painted that up, as you can see. Got the outer bits black, everything else in the grey. So that's looking really cool. And yeah, so it's now time we're going to get this deck stuck down onto the actual hull of the ship. So let's bring in the hull and start sticking this down. Okay, so I've got the hull in, and as you can see we're going to be going here at the stern of the ship, this bit. So this one is pretty straightforward. We can just stick this one down. We don't need to line it up other than with itself, just like that. Make sure it's lined up at this end here, just where the tip ends up. So to give us a bit more time, it was suggested that I use some Tamiya liquid cement. I do have some poly cement here, which is just the same as the little what you get in the little model kits actually. This does the same thing as Tamiya cement, but it just gives that a little bit longer to get your decks down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread a little bit of this on there, and yeah, we're going to get this on there, and then we'll get our deck down. It gives us a little bit more time just to get it set on there. So I'm going to apply this in here. I'm actually going to do it with a paintbrush, which will help us a little bit. So I'm going to go in here, work my way all the way down. If you are using this sort of stuff, try and make sure you're in like a ventilated room, because this stuff does smell quite strong. So once we've got this deck down, we can go and get the centre deck down as well. That side's all good. Go on this side. This is strong stuff, this. So this sort of fuses the plastic together, if you like, makes it it's kind of like welding metal actually. So that's that done. I'm going to put a little bit across here. I might hold it down a bit as well actually. So let's get a little bit across there. So this should do exactly the same as the Tamiya, but just takes a little bit longer to dry. So that's that down, and now we can get our decking in place. It's a lot thicker stuff. So get that pushed all the way in. There we go, all the way down, yes. And there we are. So that's that one in. Happy with that. So now our centre deck is going to sit just over the top of both of them. So I'm going to apply some more on these edges here and here, across the lip of the front forward deck, and on the back here there's a little sort of post. I'm going to put some on there as well. So let's get doing that as well. All the way down. And this side as well. Across this ledge here, just like so. Across these ledges, let's use a little bit more. I used a little bit more than what I thought I was going to use. Across this one. And just a little more, just to make sure, for good luck, down the sides. It's getting tacky and sticky already, which is good. So when we stick this decking down, it should stick quite quickly. But yeah, got to put some on the bottom of this post just here. Let's get that done. There we are. And now we can stick this one down. So I'm lining this one up with forward deck, dropping that down, lowering it all the way down. And there we are. Making sure this is fully up to where it can go. We're going to hold this part down. And we may need to put like a sort of weight on this part here just to hold that down. But it's tacky already, which is good. It's a good sign. Just making sure that's in all the way down. Yeah, that's good. So that's all good. So now let's take our upper deck, which is the shelter deck, and we'll see if we still line up perfectly. So this should just slot down over the top, which it does. So do we glue that on now? Why not? Why not? So I'm going to put glue all the way around the edge of this as well. And we're going to glue this down, and we're going to work on the shelter deck while it is on here. So let's get this. This should start going tacky quite quick, but there's enough time with this to let me get it worked on. Let's start going all around this part. Make sure I get it down here because we want this to stay in place. It's good. Let's get some more. Put down these edges, which is important also, and all the way around again. This is probably going to be the hardest decking to get down. But we'll find out in a minute how we've done. Right, so we're ready to go down on top. Move this out of the way. Moment of truth. Get this one down. And push it down here first at the edges. I need some sort of clamp for that, which I have got, which I'll get in a minute. Just making sure that this side is all nicely sealed down. And then we can attack it with some Trumpeter as well, just to tack it down. Hopefully that works. Don't know if it will, but we can try. We'll go on the actual hull of the ship now with the Trumpeter. And attack that down. Hoping this works. And so I think I'm going to use some tape to hold that down as well. Let's get that set in the film. I'm going to do some long strips of tape, pull that down. This will hopefully the clamps I've got are too strong. They're just going to bend the plastic and dent the plastic, which is not good, not what we want at all. Sit that on the side, just there. Right, we need this to pull this down. Right, there we are. I've taped the shit out of that, so that ain't going to move for a little while. At least it's going to hold that until that glue sets. So I'm going to bring you in a bit closer, show you it with it all taped up, and then we will come back. Probably going to leave this for a day, maybe a day or two, and hopefully this stays down, you know what I mean, so we don't not having to re-glue everything. But yeah, it seems really sturdy so far. Let me bring you in. So that's the forward deck that we've already done. Coming down, got our shelter deck done that. Now you can see the gap there. That's the gap I've got. So that will need to be filled, which ain't that bad. So that ain't going to take much filling that. And there's some little work just on the scuffs on the side here just to tidy up. As we go down, it's not that bad. And then just here we do have like about, say, ooh, it's not very thick, so it's not going to take that much to get. It looks about 1 millimeter on camera, but actually it's not. It's about paper thin width. That is. So that's that side. Let me flip it around and show you the other side. And this is the other side. As you can see here, that is going to be neat to be tidied up just there. That's where I got a bit happy with the brush. Touch up with the paint. This gap here does look bigger than what it is. There's not a gap. It's just the seal. So once I've painted that gap will disappear. And then maybe just a little tiny bit of model filler and repaint in that corner there, just like the other side. And yeah, good as new. But yeah, that is where we're at so far. So looking really, really good. So I'm going to leave this for a few days now. Let this glue really take to it before I start working on it. And then we'll come back in the next part and we'll start working up here on here. So there you go, guys. That is this video complete. We've got it all secured down now. The shelter deck is secured down. There's a very minute gap, but that ain't going to take much to fill at all. So in the end, I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. So yeah, can't really grumble. I've seen some people's where you get a gap and it's like a centimeter at this end, and yeah, so luckily I haven't got that, so it's not too bad of a job. So probably next time we'll make a start on the shelter decking, and we'll get some details on there. So if you like this video, guys, please leave a like down below, and if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye bye.